Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out a game called The Soul of Dracula by developer Bunaguchi as a Japanese indie game developer. And this is essentially, I guess we could say, it's a sort of a Castlevania fan game, and it's not really a thing that I normally cover on the channel all that much, but I decided, well, I've heard some very nice things about this one, so why not give it a shot and see if it lives up to expectations. So, let's check out the options very quickly. Difficulty set to normal, so I guess we've got multiple difficulty levels we could set here. BGM quality is set to high, sound effects are on. Screen size, this only alternates between full screen 320 and 640. I'm going to leave it there because I need that for windowed mode. Frame skip, probably don't need to deal with that. And gamepad setting is very nice. That actually lets me map a 360 controller right off the bat. Don't even need to use joy to key for once, and also keyboard settings. So anyway, I've already taken care of all that stuff. So let's get right into the game and give it a shot. I did play about 3 or 4 minutes of this one while I got my sound checks, and I must say I'm reasonably impressed. I mean, it seems to look like somewhere between maybe Sega Master System and Sega Genesis quality graphics. I think the music kind of fits a little bit with the Sega Genesis era sound effects anyway. But, you know, the gameplay seems solid enough. The few enemies that I've seen seem reasonably well diversified. From the few, you know, points in the beginning, there seem to be already quite a few things going on. Do want to clarify, this is one of those games that once you jump and pick a direction, you can't, like, adjust it again once you've already gone into the air. So it's, I guess, a little bit like La Mulana, I suppose, in that respect. I did upgrade my whip, by the way, in case you're wondering what that orb was at the beginning. But this is where the game proper starts. Obviously, that first area was kind of like a little mini tutorial, and much in a Castlevania style, we seem to be presented with an unending swarm of zombies. I think a few of them have started this way now, right? Maybe it's in my head. I mean, I'm a huge Castlevania fan, but I think my knowledge of the series has been largely relegated to the newer games. Basically everything from, like, Symphony of the Night on, although I have played some of the older ones, at least for a little while. I haven't probably beaten any of them, to be honest. They're very difficult games, and I really liked when they sort of mix it up with the RPG elements that you'll find in Symphony of the Night, and I don't know why I'm taking so long to whip through these. They're not that difficult. But yeah, I generally prefer, you know, the leveling system and all that, but there's some a very hardcore appeal to this style of game as well, and I think it's sort of made a little bit of a resurgence lately with games like Volgar the Viking. You know, people aren't really shying away from difficult games anymore, and I kind of think that's fantastic, so I'm all into that. Should mention, of course, we've got your usual Castlevania tropes, such as having daggers with hearts and things like that, and our life bar at the top there. Don't want to forget that. Weird moment here where we can't really whip, like, diagonally or up or anything, so for things like that, we've got to basically jump and then time the hit down. I do kind of like the level design, though, in that it seems to be a little bit more vertically oriented than I'm used to in a lot of games. Probably wanted to use the axe for that crow, but, you know, no biggie. So we'll continue climbing upward here, and you'll notice things have already changed a little bit in their looks. We had sort of like a deserty, caverny area, and then we come up to the top of what seems to be sort of a mountainous area, which is kind of a nice break in terms of color palette. And, you know, of course, some parallaxing effects in the background. We've got some gallows behind us, and, you know, the mountains off in the distance. It certainly has a little bit more of a lighter color palette than a lot of the Castlevania games did. Not quite as grimy in this one, I suppose, is maybe the way to put it. But it does look fine, as long as you're not looking for, you know, a dead-on serious just copy of Castlevania. I think nobody should be too disappointed with that. I feel like the game could maybe use a few more frames of animation at times, but it does get the job done. I do think that also the main character's got kind of a funny look to him, and the fact that it almost seems like the Doom guy wearing, like, lavender Doom armor, which is not exactly, you know, vampire hunter attire. That doesn't exactly look like your typical Belmont, but, you know, nothing wrong with that. He's gonna cut his own path through with a funny little haircut, whatever that is. Oh, yeah, this is a creative type of thing. As you notice, we killed that last one, and then it actually, the rope is on the guillotine right there, so we can actually climb right up through that. So now we're going to be going down a hill. We've got some holy water, which I'm going to assume does what it usually does in Castlevania. Oh, maybe it doesn't, actually. Just kind of behaves a little bit like a hand grenade. And then we've got these weird bug leech type things that are going to roll down the hill at us, sort of like that enemy from, what is it, Casino Night Zone? The one from Sonic that rolls around like a crazy thing and then opens up and turns into like some kind of bird. And that's purposely going to try and obfuscate as it falls down. Oh, okay, we've got the cross. What is the effect on the cross again? I feel like Oh, okay, it's just that you throw it. I feel like in some games it kind of exploded. That you could use it to kill everything on the screen. Maybe I'm just thinking of the newer ones. The ones that I'm most familiar with, like other than Castlevania Symphony of the Night, probably like Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia. Like all of those, that era, are all very near and dear to me. And now we've got some Angry Panthers. And as you can probably tell, we've got quite a diverse group of enemies. More so than I think I've hardly ever seen in a Castlevania game, except for maybe like Aria of Sorrow or something, where it seems like every room has like another pile of different enemies in it. Anyway, I should probably stop comparing it to a thing that it is not. And we're just going to try and power our way through this. Got another Ivy monster. And we're keeping our hearts up high. Hearts, of course, if you don't know, I already sort of mentioned this, but they're not your health in this. They power your weapons. So in this case, having 36 hearts does not mean that I am any more likely to live when my power bar is at, or my HP bar is at half. Alright, gotta manage my HP here a little bit, and probably not let this bird go to town. Alright, so are we near a boss? We're usually... In Castlevania is a very, usually it's kind of a breakup that seems to be about, like, 50-50. Like, you go through a level, get used to it real fast, and then fight a boss 2 or 3 times, and then you just sort of repeat this same element over and over as you get better and better. Okay, so we've got spikes coming up out of the ground. Those are going to push me over to the right. Yeah, saunter some more, bro. You wanna be a little slower about it. Alright, we're just gonna barely make it over that. And now it looks like we're gonna have to jump across some branches. This is almost reminding me a little bit of Demon's Crest or Actraiser, and maybe with fire instead of spikes in that case. But so far, so good. Music is also pretty decent. I'm enjoying it. Not maybe the most crazy, over-the-top Castlevania-esque soundtrack, but it's definitely getting the job done. Setting the tone, setting the atmosphere. I always wonder who it is that's setting up these candles on the sides of hills and things. A lot of times they'll just be floating completely in the air, but, you know, whatever. Also quite liking this parallaxing setup here. We've got 3 layers, all different trees of different layers. Gives you some nice depth feeling. Alright, so I'm going to assume this is probably going to be a boss, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's a boss. That is a pretty creepy boss, too, and one that I have a feeling is going to kill me at least 1 or 2 times. I'm not sure how to handle these hands. This is the first time I've fought it, by the way, so in case you're wondering, terrible play will happen. I'm not sure what the patterns are here. Oh, I can't believe I actually got that far in that boss. I figured I was going to get killed a few times. Still got a few more HP or lives left before I'm in trouble, and yep, I was going to hope that would hopefully be my whip upgrade. Funny thing that I noticed about Castlevania, specifically in, I was playing Super Castlevania 4 the other day on the stream, and it's kind of funny, they always seem to put a whip upgrade, like, right next to wherever you spawn. So it's like, what's the point of losing your whip, right? You just get it back immediately. This is going to be a weird pattern to learn. I think I should just try to, like, power through it. I think it's actually going to work. There we go. It's the HP approach to lion strats or something like that seemed to work okay. And there's my orb. I got a fire-ish-looking orb. I'm not sure what that actually means. It's usually just sort of a thing to delineate when one level ends and another begins. Oh, look, we even get the super ghosts and goblins, ghouls and ghosts style wizards and warriors, whatever you want to call it, map. I do enjoy those quite a bit. And, oh, we've got some more detail here. Even a little bit of an, almost like a reflection going on the background. Oh, mysterious. It's like we're entering the Lost Bastille. I should probably not play too far into this because I don't want to spoil all of the surprises and secrets that are in for you. If you do want to play this, it is totally free. I think there's something like 5 or 6 levels. Many of the returning Castlevania staples will be here as well. You know, if you're looking for a Dracula fight, I'm pretty sure we're going to have one. There's also, I'm pretty sure there's a death fight in this as well. So, as far as fan games go, it's not like I'm a huge aficionado of them, but this definitely seems like a pretty good one. And that is actually a monster from Castlevania directly. Oh, the eyeballs are too, actually. And those leaper guys are a little bit like the fleas, I guess they're called. I can't remember all the names of everything. And those are characteristically difficult to kill, whatever you call the 2 skulls that shoot fireballs. There's a little bit of platforming as well, of course. Oh, maybe I didn't want to break that open. Anyway, that's going to do it for another day, guys. Go check out the Soul of Dracula if you would like. I think you will enjoy it. And let me know what you think in the comments. I am quite curious to know, since, again, I'm not a huge fan game player, if this is particularly better than average, or if you have any experience with this game from prior times. I am curious your opinion. So let me know in the comments. Of course, if you just enjoyed the episode, I do appreciate if you let me know that as well, too. What did I do? Did I get stuck in... Oh, I break this rock here on the side. Of course they wouldn't let you get stuck. Seems well tested as well. I haven't really run into any problems. And I heard from a reputable dev, too, that this is a very good difficulty curve on it, too. Something to keep in mind as well. But anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And have a lovely night. Talk to you later.